Hey there guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. This is my post-match analysis after our 1-1 draw at Wembley against Tottenham Hotspur. Apologies that this review is coming a little bit later. Saturday was really busy, Sunday's also been really busy, so apologies on that front, but I am here today doing my review of that game, and I'm going to say exactly what everyone else has said. It does feel like a loss. I do feel like we've really been robbed in this game. Had we been a bit more clinical, then I don't think we'd really have to be talking about the referees too much and the officiating, but unfortunately, big decisions have cost us in this game, and Tottenham, I think a lot of their fans will agree that they were very fortunate to come out of this game with a point to their name. Created very little. I thought as good as we were, they were very, very average. I expected a lot more from them in this game, and I am really disappointed that given the performance we put in, we haven't come away with all 3 points, and 3 points would have been massive in the context of things. It would have put us 1 point behind Spurs. We'd still be above United. We're still in a very good position, and before the game I would definitely have taken this result, despite how poor Spurs have been in recent weeks and despite how good we've looked in the past couple of games. I definitely would have taken 1-1 because, let's be realistic, Spurs are a couple of years ahead of us. They've got a very well founded team under Pochettino. They are a team that are very settled, that are doing very well this season, and a draw away from home at a ground where a lot of other clubs have gone to and struggled would have been a very good result. So I'm pleased with the 1-1, but it does feel like a loss given the circumstances, given the last minute penalty, which I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, I mean, it was a hearty performance, which I'm really proud about. It's the sort of performance that we've lacked in recent years. If we'd have seen this maybe at Liverpool away earlier on in the season, we wouldn't have been hammered 5-1. But it does show that we're improving, we're learning, and some very, very bold decisions made from Emery going into this game. Playing Guendouzi, who I thought was very good in this match, sticking with players like Iwobi, Mkhitaryan, who was excellent in this game, dropping Aubameyang, Kolasinac, Mesut Ozil, even Torreira. I couldn't get my head around that one. I could understand why he brought Aubameyang off, considering that he could be that impact player from the bench. The same with Kolasinac, he could be an impact player from the bench given his strength, versatility and power. But Torreira was the one I really couldn't understand. But fair play to Guendouzi, did very well. Xhaka was brilliant in this game. I thought he had a really good performance. Iwobi is going to divide opinion, but I actually thought he worked really, really hard in this game. Wasn't amazing, didn't stand out overly, but I thought he tracked back really well, put in a really good shift. Obviously you want to see a bit more end product from him, but he forced a really good save from Hugo Lloris, and I thought all round a positive performance from Alex Iwobi. Mkhitaryan on the other flank, brilliant, works really well as an inside forward, and I'm really pleased that we are starting to see a little bit more of his Borussia Dortmund form coming to light at Arsenal, and that will be massive going into that game next week against United. That I still think even if we draw that game, it will be positive and we'll still be in a good position, but had we, given the performance we put in yesterday, I want to see us win that game against United, and it'll be tough given that they've got one of the best away records in the league. They've won 8 away on the bounce under Solskjaer, so it will be really tough, but a win there I think is imperative, but we can't get too downbeat if it's only a draw. But a vital thing there is not to lose. We cannot lose against United, otherwise that will put us in a bit of a tricky situation. But get that game out of the way, and then we've got a very, very favourable run in. But as I say, it was a bold lineup from Emery, and I think he got it spot on in that first half. Aaron Ramsey with that brilliant goal. Lacazette with the awareness, first of all, to play him through in our own half, so it wasn't offside. Made a brilliant run, past Lloris, held off Sanchez, and then put it into the back of the net to make it 1-0. And it's a shame that we're losing this guy, because I know at the start of the season people were wondering how he's going to fit into Emery's system, his style of play, and then of course his contract got withdrawn and we are seemingly losing him to Juventus at the end of the season, which is a very sad reality, because I think actually the more I'm seeing of him this season, I do think he's quite perfect for what Emery wants to do. He works hard, makes brilliant runs beyond the defence, and he really seems to be flourishing when he does play. So I'm gutted to see him go, and I think we're going to really struggle to bring in a player of his ilk next season. But I think we're in a very strong position. I look at our team, I look at the foundations of our squad, I look at the performances that we're capable of putting in under Emery, like that one yesterday. If we see more consistency from players like Ozil, Aubameyang, well, not Aubameyang as such, but Ozil, Mkhitaryan, I think we've got a very good foundation of a team here. And if we spend 100 million in the summer on players similarly to Lucas Torreira, not in a positional sense, but players of that sort of calibre, maybe a winger that's about 25 mil, a centre half at 30 mil. If we use our money correctly and utilise it well, I think we're in a very, very exciting position at Arsenal Football Club. But Regarding the rest of that first half, I thought we played very, very well. We should have been 2-0. Lacazette had that brilliant chance. Monreal put it on a plate for him. The defence yesterday was excellent. It was really, really good. Mustafi at right back virtually had nothing to do. He was barely in the game. But Socrates and Koscielny, I thought they complemented each other really, really well. I think that's going to be our first choice centre-back partnership for the rest of the season. Experience, Koscielny at 33 still looks very good. Socrates at 30 looks very good. Monreal at 33, one of his best performances this season, I think, and really is going to make things difficult for Kolasinac to get back into the team. But great to have such good fullback options, and his age really doesn't seem to be too much of an issue, despite some people thinking otherwise. But I thought the defence all round was very, very good, and very disappointed that they unfortunately conceded in this game because of a dubious penalty, which, you know, going into that second half, we should have killed the game within the first 45 because we really had the opportunities to do so, and unfortunately our strikers couldn't quite put the ball in the back of the net. But we saw the introduction of Torreira for Guendouzi, perfect substitution at half time. I thought we saw Aubameyang come on. Unfortunately didn't really get involved too much in the game. I thought he struggled to get involved in the match. I would have maybe been a bit more inclined to keep Lacazette on. I know he missed that chance and his head was ever so slightly down, but he holds the ball up so well. He's such a strong, useful player to have in the North London derby. So disappointed to see him go off, but I can understand that we can't play with two strikers in a game with this intensity. It does leave us defensively open. So, yeah, disappointed on that front. We saw Ozil come on as well. He created a few half chances. But the Harry Kane penalty, which is definitely worth talking about. First of all, it's offside, so the whistle should have blown and it never should have been given as a penalty. Despite that, I think a lot of fingers have to be pointed at Mustafi. I hate to say it, but he's in the wrong. Until the whistle's blown, there's no way that a defender knows that he's keeping his attacker offside. So it's stupid from him to do that. It's just not needed. The ball's going out of play. Kane's not getting anywhere near it. Even if he does get a touch on it, it's not going anywhere near the goal. It's stupid from Mustafi, and this is the thing with Mustafi. He can have a really positive game, but he'll do just something that is so utterly brain dead, and I think that's what's going to cost him his future at Arsenal Football Club, because I can't rely on a guy like that to play well for 90 minutes without making a stupid, reckless decision. And I really like Mustafi. I love what he does in terms of playing the ball out from the back. Some of his tackles are phenomenal, but I just don't think he's a long-term player at Arsenal, sadly. I look at Socrates, who was so dominant, so powerful in the game. I look at Koscielny, who is looking really good despite his age and despite his injuries. And we know this guy's put together with masking tape, so he's looking really good and really fit at the minute. So I just don't think there's a place for Mustafi in the centre-back partnership at the moment. And I think if we do bring a centre-half in the summer, I still think we'll keep Koscielny on, and I do think Socrates has got another few years left in him. I do think Mustafi will be the one to be sacrificed, especially with Holding coming back, with Mavropanos coming through, with potentially Callum Chambers coming back into the team next season. So very poor from Mustafi, disappointed to see it from him, and he just doesn't seem to be learning, which is a big shame. But unfortunately Harry Kane put it away. Great penalty. Shame for Leno as well, because he made that brilliant double save in this game. I thought he deserved a clean sheet. Distribution a bit questionable at times, but I thought overall his saves were fantastic, and he really did rise to the occasion on this game. But we didn't really create too much after that, but we did have that penalty in the 88th, 89th minute. Aubameyang, who went down really, really easily. It's got to be said, if that penalty had been given against us, I'd be really quite furious. So it was, again, another dubious penalty shout, and I do think that Spurs fans will feel hard done by, and rightly so. I think he did go down very, very easily. But, you know, Davinson Sanchez earlier on in the game making that awful challenge on Koscielny, who we know is a very injury-prone player, and that's just gone completely unpunished as well. Doesn't even seem to be noticed. I hope there's a retrospective ban in that, because it was awful. It was just really, really horrible what he did to Koscielny in that instance. But this was some sort of retribution. Aubameyang steps up for the penalty, and it's tame, it's soft, it's very easy for Lloris. If it goes in, it looks brilliant, it looks clever, but it didn't on this occasion, and Lloris has kept it out. And then Vertonghen, who has encroached in the box, the penalty should have been retaken 100%, is there to make the challenge on Aubameyang to prevent his tap-in. So yeah, I do feel hard done by, very, very hard done by in that instance, and then even more hard done by with that Torreira red card, which I know it's dangerous, I know it is studs up, but let's be honest, it's not intentional. He's got the ball first and foremost, and his foot has kind of ricocheted onto the foot of Danny Rose, I think it was in this instance, which is just unfortunate. And I think at worst we're looking at a yellow card, but unfortunately it's been given as a red, and unless we appeal it, he's going to be missing for the game against United, which is a massive blow for us. But if Guendouzi and Xhaka can perform to the level that they did in the game yesterday, then I'm not too worried about that as such. But that's a massive game for us. We've got Stade Rennais in the week as well. Got to win that. But this could still be a very positive end to the season for us. If Emery wins us the Europa League or gets us a top 4 finish or manages to do both somehow, then he's had a fantastic first season, and I'm feeling a lot more positive about the performances. We are looking really, really good at the minute, and if we can bring this energy in and commitment into the game against Stade Rennais and then bring it into the game against United, very favourable end to the season we could have. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. Please do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the game in the comments box below. Drop a like on the video, as I say, and as always, I'll speak to you very, very soon. See you later.